Good morning. It's the Todd and Erin morning stream on GetPartDaily.com. Whoo! What a weekend! What a weekend!
It was, wasn't it?
Shall we start off? Let's start off with the mountain camp.
Okay,
Maybe.
of course. We should. It's because it's brought to you by Black Diamond Experts, of course, experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. Actually, the smoke from all the wildfires is mostly gone, so that's good. Oh, and look, there's the closed off 106 South exit.
We'll talk about that later. We're really angry.
Not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Coming up, a woman is going to sell her husband's treasured item.
Oh yes, his sex palace. The Utah Teacher of the Year, who I'm kind of in love with.
All right, and we're going to talk of BYU, Utah.
And this is cool. Felix Falcon. I don't know if you've ever met him, but he's stopping by with tickets to an Alex Boyer concert.
He is the Falcon. He is Felix.
He's Felix.
He's blue.
I know.
We got
Didn't
tickets.
you like him?
Yeah.
That's coming up in just a minute.
All right. First of all, consumer report. You know how important that is to me. And I would just like to point out that I don't drink soda on a regular basis. But when I do, I drink it to stay awake. So I took my
It's
Zach.
more of a life-saving method versus, you know.
So I took my Zachy and we went to the Uintas to camp because girls are smelly and they're not allowed. And so we went up to the Uintas. So I stopped and and I got this. And these are styrofoam. Usually the upgraded ones are like plastic everywhere else.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so it's in my cup holder in my truck, right? And I pick it up and that happens.
That's a problem. And your brand new truck. With a nice clean upholstery.
More importantly, I drove to the Uintas with a crotch full of ice and Coca-Cola. And all I have to say is, that's refreshing.
Is that what we're going with?
If I could absorb soda with my groin, that would have been fine.
Oh.
Now my seatbelt won't even work because all the Coke went down into the thing and now it's not sticky and gross.
I'm
so
sorry.
Maybe upgrade. I know I'm being picky here, but maybe upgrade to real plastic. Thank you. The Uintas were beautiful, though.
I bet that was refreshing.
We had frost. We had frost on the windshield of the truck.
Already?
I know.
What happened to the lobster on Friday telling us we had 6 more weeks of summer?
They ate them. But it snapped warm as soon as the sun came up, and it was just a beautiful day.
That's good. That's
and tomorrow I'll show you some fishing stuff that worked out.
Oh, Facebook Live this morning. Ann Byland, good morning from Florida. Ann, hi, sweetie. How are you? Are you alive? Well, obviously, because you just said good morning from Florida. But is everything still around, like your cat and your garbage cans in your house? I'm just wondering if you're okay.
Well, so far,
maybe mention it since you're saying good morning. We just want to know if you're okay.
So far, most of the talk has been that it wasn't as bad and the storm surge wasn't as bad as they were all saying, which is great. Half the state's out of power.
That's a problem.
This like 6 million people.
You know, the only problem I have, and obviously nobody wants it to be worse. Nobody. I mean, I'd be insane to want it to be worse.
Right.
But the only sad thing is they said, this is going to be horrible. You have got to leave. You've got to leave now. Don't screw around with this. And so most people went,
I know what you're going to say.
I'm going to pay attention this time. Ordinarily, I try to be all macho and I hunker down. But this time, I will pay attention to you and I will leave.
And
now, from now on, they're going to go, you know, there was that one time with Hurricane Irma. They said it was going to be really bad. It wasn't really bad. I'm going to stay here.
I know,
and then they're going to die horrible
it's going to be horrible.
I mean, it's like, I don't know. I'm just torn. It's not like I wanted it to be worse, but
like
it just...
CNN and stuff, they threw out all their big anchors, and Anderson Cooper was kind of standing there with this look on his face. Yeah, it's really windy, and things are bad, and because it wasn't as bad when they showed it. You almost thought there were people, producers off camera, throwing things at them, palm fronds and stuff like that to make it look worse.
It really was sweet, though. There were people out there who... I mean, we always talk about the heroes, and there's so many amazing people who do things that are so above and beyond. But this one lady, I just thought was kind of epic. Because she saw this poor weather reporter out there from the Weather Channel. And
getting his butt kicked.
And they really did. I mean, there were just like comments all over Twitter like, oh, those poor kids, let them come back in now. Because you could see it was all the miserable young ones who had never like done anything. They're like, he can go out. He's dispensable in case he gets hit with something.
No one knows his name.
And so this woman walked up to him while he's live on camera. He goes, I think you need this. And she handed him a 6-pack of beer.
Oh, that's right.
We might have the picture, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but
no.
It was...
The beer picture.
I felt there she is.
There she is.
Soaking wet, and she's so sweet, but she's just like, it looks like you really need this. And God bless the poor guy. He's like, thank you, that would be very nice.
The Galveston Island Brewery confirmed that they had nothing to do with this, but appreciated the photobomb with their product.
The free.
Yeah, the free plug on CNN. So that's pretty cool.
She looks pretty happy, though.
Yeah.
I'm glad to give him something.
And I'm sure it's all gone by now.
You know what? I would have stood there and just had it right there. I would have just probably power chugged it because I've had to report in a hurricane before, and it's not that much fun.
So Jason Chaffetz is under fire from Hillary.
Well, I finally got
In
a
a
chance
book, right?
to read part of Hillary's new book. It's called What Happened, and it's essentially the story of
What happened.
the presidential election where everyone was like, you were supposed to win this, and it was a big surprise.
Right.
Well, she said that she thought she was shaking hands with Reince Priebus on Inauguration Day, and then later understood that it was Jason Chaffetz. Of course, he's our former Utah GOP congressman who went for big bucks at Fox. But he was headed. I guess he took a lot of flack on social media for his Instagram post of the handshake with the caption, "So pleased she's not the president. I thanked her for her service and wished her luck. The investigation continues." Clinton apparently recalled the moment in her book and kind of took a swipe at Chaffetz by saying, "We headed up the stairs to leave the platform and go inside the Capitol, shaking hands along the way. I saw a man off to the side who I thought was Reince Priebus, who was head of the Republican National Committee. And so as we passed by, we shook hands and exchanged small talk. Later, I realized it hadn't been Priebus. It was Jason Chaffetz, who was the then Utah congressman, and wannabe Javert, who made endless political hay out of my emails and the 2012 tragedy in Benghazi in Libya." If you don't know, Javert is the police inspector in Les Miserables, who becomes obsessed with the pursuit and the punishment of Jean Valjean in the course of the novel. So, and as you remember, he pretty much doggedly went after Clinton when he was on the House Oversight Committee for
He probably still will as a little hobby while he's on Fox News.
He did actually say one kind of funny thing, though. Chaffetz said, "Nobody has ever mistaken me for Reince Priebus. He must be really ticked off right now."
Well, touche.
So that was pretty good.
All right, so you were so excited about this story.
Are you kidding? This is the best thing ever. Every now and then you see a jewel on like classified.
This is unclassified KSO, right?
And it's a jewel, and sadly they took it down, which I disagree with.
Why? Because it was popular?
Here we go. You want to hear the description?
Yes, okay.
Must sell ASAP.
Okay.
Can we show a picture of this, guys? This is what was for sale.
Oh!
I've recently discovered that my husband has been using our 96 camper for his sex palace with every floozy he can find.
What?
He entices them with the trusting blue lines of the outside of the self-contained camper in its great condition.
Wait. You're telling me that gets him lucky?
He keeps his Jell-O shots cold in the 3-way fridge and has been using the 3-burner stove and oven to cook his bimbo's breakfast in the morning. He washes their stink off in the indoor shower, but has been using the outdoor shower for his wet t-shirt contests.
Oh, boy.
The spacious dining area has been perfect for his lap dances.
Oh,
and the air conditioner and forced heating has made his sexcapades year-round.
Oh, man.
The large sleeping area has been perfect for every disgusting acrobatic move. And the camper has been bleach washed to remove all possible germs
traces of,
and is in pristine condition. Unlike his skinks, I'm only asking $3,000, which will pay for my retainer for my divorce attorney.
Oh.
Except for here's the last line. Oh, by the way, this is just posted for an old friend of mine. He had no idea what the ad says, and neither does his cute wife. He asked me to post something for sale for his camper, but only gave me the specs. So obviously, I had to do something here. So just send him text, please.
What?
So a friend of his wrote the whole thing just to catch attention for the camper so that they could sell it. But his poor friend foolishly said, "Here's all the specs. Could you post the ad for me?"
Go for it. Make something special.
He's like, "Okay, I can do that."
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Name a teacher you remember from high school.
You know, my favorite college professor was Ed Leaders.
He was communications?
My English professor.
Right.
And I was going to go into nursing school, and he went, no, you're a great writer. You shouldn't do that. You should be in journalism. You're a writer.
What were you going to do?
I was going to be in nursing school. I was going to be a nurse, an RN. And he said, no, you need to be a writer. And I've always loved him, and every single year around this time, I always remember him up at the U because I just thought he was so incredible. And he changed my whole life. He changed the whole course of my life.
He changed, yeah. My high school counselor asked me how I was at construction.
Are you serious? Yeah, that's right.
Light construction.
What? Light construction versus...
A lot of faith in me at that point in time.
Wasn't he the one who wanted you to go into, like... Was it golf course maintenance or something
No,
bizarre?
that was later. I was supposed to take care of lawns on golf courses. And they actually teach that at the University of Massachusetts.
That was a thing.
Which I didn't go to. But actually, the council, I ended up going lobstering with him during the summer. That's what he made his money at, because he was a teacher and he didn't make money at all. So,
Well, the only reason we're focusing on this a little more is because Utah's Teacher of the Year this year is from Vernal. She gets an honor involving meeting the president, $10,000 prize. Had a nice stand-up picture with Governor Herbert.
Nice.
Her name's Erin Snowburchell. She's the cutest thing ever. She's from Uinta High School, and she was named the state's top teacher.
what did she do?
And so I texted her real fast on Facebook. I said, "Do you mind if we use your pictures? I'd like to talk about you."
Right.
And she said, "Hi, Erin. You're welcome to use the photos from my account, and thank you for asking. I have to say, it's been quite an experience, one that I never aspired to." She said, "But I hope that the talk surrounding this award is not that I'm the best teacher in the state, simply because that's not true. There's thousands of good teachers who are doing amazing things every day for their students, and I would like to think that my role is more as an ambassador for the teaching process and an advocate for the students of Utah." She said, "I'm especially pleased to represent the rural perspective because she traveled and moved to Vernal, to a teeny tiny outlying town,
Right.
because she knew how important good educators were and that it was much harder for them to recruit good teachers there."
Interesting. Out in the smaller towns.
Which I just loved. And she said, "There's so many exciting things going on in education, and I really want people to know." But I adore her. I mean, that was like
Yeah.
the best attitude ever. And she worked really hard with especially struggling kids. And there's a lot of English as a second language students,
Right.
which is one of her strengths. But I just loved how modest she was and how sweet she was about what she does.
I think it's wonderful, and she's incredible, but I'm wondering if this is going to step up the competition in her school. Because I think she's going to make one of the volcano projects, right? Teacher next door,
Yeah.
8 feet high. Teacher of the year, my butt. I'll show you.
Maybe that's a good thing.
Not sure they talk like that. in
Probably
Vernal.
not, no.
Probably
no,
not.
but no.
All right, so what do we have coming up? Information with Daisy.
Well, first of all, Daisy, and of course, she's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Mortgage is made simple. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, you can take their 4-minute mortgage challenge. It'll give you a whole list of different places that you have options with, and they'll give you a call within the next business day. Also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating and Air, 24-hour service, because if something's going to break, it will be at 2 o'clock in the morning. Just go to allutahplumbing.com. Daisy, my darling, good morning. Happy Monday.
Hello everyone, here's what's making headlines Monday, September 11th on GephartDaily.com. Authorities have released the name of the woman killed Sunday in a 2-vehicle crash in South Jordan. 61-year-old Marion Harrison was killed around 10:30 a.m. after running a red light and slamming into the side of a pickup truck at 1300 West South Jordan Parkway. Police say Harrison was not wearing a seatbelt and was partially ejected from her car. The 2 people inside the pickup truck escaped serious injury. A tough weekend for cops in West Valley City after 2 police vehicles were involved in separate accidents while going code to the same crime scene. The first accident took place about 10:50 p.m. Saturday when a West Valley officer speeding to a SWAT standoff collided with a taxi on Mountain View Corridor near the Old Bingham Highway. 10 minutes later, a second West Valley City police vehicle was involved in a crash while responding to the same standoff. This accident also took place on Mountain View Corridor. And if that wasn't enough irony for you, consider that the second West Valley squad car was clobbered by a South Jordan police officer who was responding to the crash near the Old Bingham Highway. Amazingly enough, no reports of serious injuries. And some more good news today out of Weber County, where the Uinta fire is now 100% contained. The fire began Tuesday morning, torching 5 homes and threatening thousands of others. More than 600 acres burned near the mouth of Weber Canyon before firefighters could get the blaze under control. It's been determined a downed power line sparked the fire. And now time for the Wasatch Front forecast, where we're finally seeing a bit of a cool down as we make our way towards fall. Temps will now hover in the upper 80s and low 90s for the next few days before dipping into the 70s towards the week's end. Lows will stay in the mid to low 60s and a slight chance of rain each day. That's it for now. For more local headlines 24/7, go to GephartDaily.com. And for now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
You know,
Thank
I got
you.
a call yesterday over the weekend from a friend. He says, "Do you know a vet?" And I went, "Veterinarian." Evidently, his dog was sick, and he was searching through online, he's trying to find a good vet, and he used to go looking all over the place. And so he said, "Yeah, there's one in the avenues, and you could go there and anything." But the point being is that it's important to have people like that in your phone that you already know that you're going to go in case there's an accident. His dog broke his leg. Boom, pick up the dog. Dog's pain goes right to his phone, goes right to the clinic, gets it taken care of. Same thing with like plumbing and cars and all these different things. Plumbers, if you want to get a good plumber, all you have to do is go to All Utah Plumbing. Go to allutahplumbing.com for more information on that. John and his crew will come out. And you know what? If you put this in your phone, next time you have an accident, because you know the last thing you want to do when you're standing knee deep in the hoopla in your basement is to go searching online. So all you have to do is go to allutahplumbing.com for all the information, and John will come and help you out. All right. You have a story about a dog?
No. It's the police evidence room.
Oh, that's right.
Salt Lake City. And a police evidence room, these are the people who have to like test all the drug samples. From the drug busts and the raids,
Right.
and they test things, and then they...
And they got guns, and they got everything,
Yeah, and they
right?
lay everything out, and they have to put everything away and stack it and store it and make sure they know where everything is.
Yeah, that guy's going to a party.
Yeah, except for one small problem. Apparently, the civilian employee who works in the evidence room showed up high for work Friday.
Oh, boy.
So that's a problem with all the drugs there, and
Yeah.
she showed up high.
Yeah.
And Salt Lake County District Attorney Sim Gill said, well, there's no really any indication that she took any of the drugs
From the cage.
we used as evidence. So
Right.
that's good. But they said the sad part of this, though, is that because they do have to find out and make sure that none of the integrity was compromised, because this
Right.
could impact future court cases.
Oh, my gosh.
They have to go through all 200,000 pieces of evidence
And weigh them and
to
stuff?
make sure she didn't tamper with them. And in the meantime, she's like, got any Doritos?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
It is a great
200,000 pieces of evidence.
It's a great story.
I hope it
think
was worth it for you, honey.
I think it's out of Oregon. And if you've ever seen them bust a pot field, the officers go down and they pull the plants up by the roots so they won't resprout, right? And this is a pretty big operation. It was on federal land in a forest. And they figured out irrigation. They brought fertilizer. I mean, it's like the organized thing. So the cops go out and bust them, used infrared, this is funny, out of a helicopter. Because
I've heard of that.
Pot shows up different than the regular trees in the area. So
Really?
anyway,
Is it a
came
different
to
heat signature or something?
Yeah, thousands and thousands and thousands of plants. They put them on this big net. Helicopter comes down. They transport it. They then put it in a certain area, and they light it on fire. Evidently, there was a low pressure that day, and the smoke stayed fairly close to the ground and blew into a town. And that's when Doritos went through the roof. Seriously. It was just like, oh, you guys got to move.
Are you serious?
You guys got to move. Okay, we're moving. Yeah. So
a little
there's another great one where
slower than usual.
where the net broke, and it just distributed these pot plants all the way to the dump site. Oh.
It's like manna from heaven.
Are we going to talk about Christopher's?
Yes, the
and
big
how
thank you.
delicious it is?
Oh, it was really fun. Sandy put out a whole bunch of different pictures over the weekend. Sandy Rostal was one of our winners, and she went Friday. And she said it was so amazing, and she went into great detail about all the amazing food they'd had. And I wanted to murder her, but that's okay. Because here's the deal. There's nothing better than Christopher's Prime Steakhouse. And we wanted to say thank you for staying with us here on the morning stream by sending you there. So if you'd like to take 3 friends with you, all you have to do is just enter to win on any one of our Facebook pages. If you're watching right now, just make a comment, then we'll know that you are watching right now. All you need to do is just say, hey, I like Christopher's. Hey, I hate you. My hair is blue. I don't care what you say. But there's a Gephardt Daily Facebook page, or you can go to Gephardt Approved Facebook, or you can go to the Todd and Erin Facebook page. Just make a comment. You're entered to win. We draw on Friday, and boom, you're done. It's that simple.
All right, coming up next, were you hacked? Did you get hacked?
Equifax. That's like
Equifax,
everybody.
You got hacked. They're coming up next.
Todd and Erin's Morning Stream, brought to you by Black Diamond Experts. Electric, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. You'll be glad you called an expert. Fink and McGregor, mortgages made simple. Make sure you go to fink-mcgregor.com and try out their 4-minute mortgage program. It's incredibly easy to find out whether you qualify. The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is actually available anytime at GephardtDaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Erin page.
All right, so tell me about this. Now, how many people got hacked during this? It was like 4 billion.
Yeah, Utah officials say they're still trying to scramble and figure out how many people here in Utah got nailed by this. But Equifax, of course, is one of the 3 major credit reporting agencies, right? So you would think that these people with all of your personal and financial information would be exceptionally paranoid about security.
Equifax. We don't care.
You apparently would be completely wrong. They had to admit that personal information for as many as 143 million consumers.
One more time?
143 million consumers may have been compromised.
Oh, boy.
That's access to social security numbers, birth dates, addresses, legal names.
Phone numbers.
And additionally, they could have accessed up to 210,000 credit card numbers.
Now, this happened over a series of days until they found out.
So you can imagine it's a little frustrating. Equifax lost $2.3 billion in market value, and frankly, I think they should. But they said the reason why this is bigger is just because it shows that it can be done. I mean, because, like I said, they're one of the big three. These are the people that retained all your information.
You would think that companies at this point would have said, you know what, let's reevaluate our system because, I mean, it's kind of like Windows. Windows keeps giving you updates when they find either a weakness or a flaw, so they keep doing that. And I wonder if these companies like Equifax are actually doing that and staying up on it. You would think so, but...
They said one of the simplest things to do, if you do think that you might have been hacked or like you start seeing irregularities, you can go to the Utah Department of Public Safety or to the FBI Internet Crimes Complaint Center. But he said right now, and he suggested this for everybody, he goes, go change all of your passwords on all of your sensitive information.
Really?
He said not even just financial stuff, but he said other sensitive information that would contain all of your stuff, like legal names, addresses, birth dates, all that stuff that people could still use to steal to steal your information. So,
or if you're
he said that's the simplest and quickest way to stop.
And if you're worried about your money and stuff, just follow the Todd and Erin plan, which is don't have any. No one can hack something that doesn't exist. All right, so we're going to be talking about something really cool coming up.
Yes.
And first of all, I want to touch base on food. You know, we've been doing this thing, an ongoing thing with Daisy.
Yeah, it's basically British foods we've never heard of, like spotted dick.
Right.
Which surprisingly was delicious. And like, for instance, we forced her to consume Pop-Tarts. That was not a happy day.
Right.
No, so it's interesting though. There's so many American foods, and I didn't realize this till I went to Norway. That how things that we love, and you just assume everybody in the world eats them, and they're like, we have no idea what you're talking about.
Exactly.
No idea.
So here's some of the American ones.
American.
Easy cheese. Easy cheese. It's been around forever.
Cheese in a can.
It never goes bad. It's delicious.
It's not delicious. It's disgusting.
No, it's not delicious. You want the best Halloween trick ever in the history of life? If you ever notice, there's a little rubber cork on the bottom of the can that you go shh.
Of the easy cheese?
Yeah. And if you go ahead and freeze the easy cheese, and then you pull that plug out, and then you put it in your friend's desk.
What happens?
It thaws and it expands really fast.
I see.
It's not a nice trick to do, but it's
an entertaining one.
something that just to think of. Okay, number two. American cheese wrapped.
Yeah, the Velvetas, the little creepy wrapped ones.
Right. Individual slices.
Yes, that you have to like peel back each little wrapping thing, and then it's like falls apart in your hand.
I've never thought of why that each one is.
Because they all stick together horribly in a big fat clump of
I go to the
cheese.
deli, that doesn't happen.
The Velveeta?
No, the regular cheese
that's
stacked
because
on
it's
top of itself.
That's because it's regular cheese. Velveeta is sort of a non-food product.
Oh.
It's a little different.
Okay, that makes sense. Ready Whip.
Whipped cream in a can.
That's my daughter.
What could be better?
I'm teaching her right.
Uh-huh.
Because the noise goes like this.
Well, she'd never had anyone squirt whipped cream in her mouth. So
When it came out her
obviously you had to.
nose, it was hilarious. Foreigners can't understand why we have whipped cream in a can.
I think that's an obvious one. Everyone should have whipped cream in a can available.
I don't
for
know
them.
why they just misunderstand hot dogs. Right?
Everyone consumes sausages, but apparently hot dogs is more of an American thing.
Well, a
than
hot
you
dog
thought.
is basically a terrible bratwurst. I mean, that's basically it. It's the trailer park of sausage food. And the food in a tube.
That was really good.
Thanks.
The trailer park of extruded foods.
There you go. And it really is. It's just like, here, we got something, throw it in a casing, eat it. That's all you got.
You don't know what's in it, and you don't really need to.
It's
so
not a sandwich, by the way. There's this huge controversy of, is it a sandwich? No, it's not. And you're fighting over something from a trailer park.
I had no idea.
Number 5, bacon.
Everyone eats bacon.
Actually, no. Actually, we are the largest exporter of bacon in the world.
One of the things, though, I know is they say we don't understand why you have it on everything.
Well, you shouldn't.
Because, like, a friend of mine was looking at a donut that had maple glaze and then a couple of bacon bits, and she was just genuinely upset. Like, why is this happening?
Right.
This is so inappropriate. And I went, it's a thing. Bacon's a thing. She's
Yeah.
like, no. This can't be correct.
It takes over all the food. It just takes over all the food, except for green salads. If you put bacon in a green salad, and then it's just a treasure hunt of pushing the green crap out of the way, get into the bacon.
Only way you can make people eat kale.
Deep frying, because the state fair is coming up. We got deep fried everything.
I know.
And whatever you have in your kitchen, go to your pantry, throw it in hot oil, and it will taste better. Cheese.
A deep fried Snickers bar, by the way, is the best thing ever.
Cheesecake. Why don't people understand
No,
cheesecake?
everybody has cheesecake, surely.
I didn't think it was an American thing. I thought it was like German or something.
I thought it was French. How could you not have cheesecake?
Fromage cake.
Well, no, but it just seems like it's a given. It's like, number one, it's a dessert. Number
Right.
two, it's cheesecake.
There's another item in the study too that we didn't talk about, which is spam. Now, spam has a history. This history is that during World War II there was a shortage of beef because we were sending it to the troops. So what they came up with was just different chunks of an animal, and they would spice it and put it in a can, and then they would distribute it. Polynesians have sushi with spam on it.
There is a mad love in the islands.
Because that was the only food stuff that they had during the war, and they all got hooked. And they actually have low sodium spam, so
it's almost healthy.
it'll kill you in half the time.
Oh.
No, twice the time.
So you have longer to live as you consume spam.
And enjoy more spam.
I see.
This is true.
I did not know that.
As Daisy was saying, 106 South, which is one of the busiest interstates in interchanges in the state.
Yeah, I know.
Did you know that? And that's the way we come to work.
Well, it's like Foothill. It's like the same thing with Foothill Boulevard.
When they closed
when
it?
they closed it off I-80, everyone
Right.
was like ready to commit suicide because it was just so tough to find a way to work. Because so many people go up to the university and to the hospitals there.
16 days. 16 days of pure hell.
This is our exit too.
24/7, 24/7. You can see by the map, it's going to be a big pain in the butt. They're talking about $23 million is going to be spent in 16 days.
Wow.
Right?
What are they doing exactly?
Moving stuff around.
Okay.
Yeah, and here's the confusing thing, and I'm not going to try it because it sounds confusing. She said, "Yeah, it'll be closed. It's going to be a pain," and then she says, "But." I'm going to whisper this because I don't want everybody to know because it'll get really busy. Okay, so it says southbound I-15 onto westbound I-106 south will still be open.
Oh, that's nice.
One more time, if you're going southbound on I-15, you want to get off on 106 south, and you're going to head west, supposedly it works.
Really?
Shh.
Because that would be us.
Shh.
Because, see, I tried to outsmart myself today because I went down to 90th South to get off.
Isn't it weird?
And
Change your habits,
and
right?
everybody was lined up to go on the frontage roads, and I went, I will go down one more, and then I will turn left, and that way I will beat everybody. And I'm sailing along all kinds of office parks and neighborhoods, and then I
in the dark
nearly go off the road because it just stops. It just stops, and then there's a precipitous 5-foot drop into a field. So that was a surprise.
If you've ever been
Fortunately, my
involved
brakes are excellent.
in a precipitous accident, you know how painful they can be. Here's one
you
thing
mocking
from
me?
Kundal, and if you're using just one part of one person's name, it's important. I'm going to whisper this because I don't want people to know.
Okay.
So evidently, it's closed, but if you're heading southbound on I-15 and you're going to end up heading westbound on 106 South,
So you were just oozing off, and you're going to hit it with.
it's still open.
Get out.
So once again, I-15 southbound, you're going to go on at 106, you're going to head west. It's still okay.
That's really cool.
Don't tell anybody.
Okay.
Because otherwise you go 90th and then you see the Maverick store across from the Maverick store and you think you're in the Twilight Zone.
That really upsets you, doesn't it?
Maverick store, Maverick store.
Perhaps there can never be enough Maverick stores available for use. I don't know.
Maybe
Why are you so offended by that? Why do you deny them their opportunity, their God-given American opportunity to have a Maverick store across from each other? if they
because
want?
it's a franchise. You buy a franchise. Your entire livelihood depends on your store doing well, and so you place a store across from the store.
Well, maybe no one can get to the other side, and so they needed to.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I am gonna go get a falcon.
Felix the Falcon, as a matter of fact, and as a matter of fact, he just barely won Mascot of the Year, which I thought was really, really cool. Hi, guys, come in.
You sit. Talker Man sits there. Felix sits over here.
Look at him. Admire the blueness of Felix, because I think he's
blue.
fantastic. Congratulations, by the way, for winning Mascot of the Year. That is so amazing. Really, that's cool. Now, the thing I love most about you guys, though, is you've been doing this for years with the Mascot Miracles Foundation for kids with special health care
Yeah, since
needs.
2013.
And so what prompted you guys to get started with this?
Felix here, he met a little girl with cancer, and that changed his world, and then steamrolled this thing, and it just kind of grew every year exponentially, and now we have over 600 families that are registered through our website that we help.
Wow.
And so we do special events throughout the year for our heroes and their families, and then we also do impromptu events that pop into our lap with things that we need to do ASAP because health conditions are deteriorating, and then we also do one-on-ones with these kids. They gravitate to a certain mascot. We have about 28 mascots that we
Isn't
have.
that interesting?
And they'll they'll gravitate to one certain one, and they stick with them, and they love them.
Oh my gosh,
And
that is so sweet.
A lot of times it's the first time some of these kids have ever talked or smiled in a long time because they just see doctors and nurses, and their families are just, when they see the smiles on their face when these guys, furry creatures, show up, it's a game changer, and it's emotional, you know.
I can't imagine how you get through this. I would be weeping inconsolably.
There are a
like
lot of
90% the
events
time.
where I wish I was a mascot and had a mask when you're crying like a baby. But
There's a reason you've got
yeah.
tissue paper stuffed in there, don't you?
seeing
Yeah.
the joy that they bring to these kids' lives is amazing.
You know, and it's such a creative thing because it's something you would not ordinarily think of. You're thinking, here, I'll bring you some cupcakes or something.
Right.
But the novelty, you're right, of having this crazy big furry thing coming into your room.
Larger-than-life character that just comes in, and it's awesome.
So
And-
that's
Right.
going to be so much fun.
What do
you
we
got
have? What
here?
do we have here?
Oh,
Felix.
Right,
I don't-
right there.
so what Felix is saying is he wants to talk about our concert coming up.
Okay, I think I Am Groot is probably not exactly it, but we'll go with that. Now, so tell us about the fundraiser. This is a night with Alex Boyer and friends, and
Yes.
if you've never met Alex Boyer, he's a fantastic singer. He's from London. He was Nigerian. He moved here. Converted to the LDS Church. He was on America's Got Talent.
Yeah, he's a great talent, and he's doing this concert for us right before he's leaving to a European tour. And it's going to be at UVU at the UCCU Center on September 23rd, next Saturday at 6 p.m. All of our heroes and their families are going to be attending on the floor for free, and then we're
cool.
selling tickets around in the stadium, the arena for the civilians to come and see what the magic that these guys do. And it's a $15 concert for your family.
Which is fantastic.
Fantastic. And Alex Boyer, I mean, you're not going to get a $15 ticket to see him ever again.
No,
and
that's
so,
very true.
He's going to come, and we're going to have all the mascots there. We're going to have a great time.
That sounds amazing. And once again, yeah, you're raising money for a really cool cause. Where can they get information?
So you can go to Smith Tix or UCCU website at UVU, Utah Valley University, and also you can buy them at the day of at the door. And we brought 5 family 4-packs on the
Thank
front
you.
row of the second section from the stage for
Wow.
your viewers to give away however you guys want to do it.
Felix, you're a
But there's
beautiful man.
There's 20 tickets for you guys
Okay.
and the Gephardt Daily viewers.
Okay, this is very easy then, you guys. All we're going to do is you've got 3 Facebook pages if you're watching right now on Todd and Erin or on Gephardt Daily or Gephardt Approved. Just drop a comment saying, I would like to go see Alex Boyer or God bless Felix or whatever you want to say. And a 4-pack of tickets can be yours. We'll be giving those out by noon today so that you can make some plans. You guys, that's
Yep.
so cool. Thank
And,
you.
yep. And Mascot Miracles Foundation.org. You can go on, you can nominate a family, you can participate as a volunteer, and you can donate.
See, all 3 of those are huge things.
3 of
So if
those
you
are
don't
great.
have money, you're right, it's still
You
important.
can still help us out, and like I say, every year we grow, and we need all the help we can get.
You know, it's sad that you have to grow, but I'm thrilled that at least there's more awareness that people know that this is an option and this is something that could change their kids'
Yeah,
lives.
I mean, 2013, we're still a relatively new foundation charity, and we are a 501c3, so they are tax-deductible donations. So.
He always freaks me out when he writes because I'm never sure what he's. Oh, 558 families already? Wow. That's amazing. And just on a personal note, when we lost our son McLean last year, Felix personally contacted us, and he invited us to a big party you guys were doing at the aquarium, and that meant so much to my kids. So thank you for thinking
You're
of
welcome.
us.
That aquarium event every year, all the families look forward to it, and it's we have over 1,200 people there, and it's just amazing. The aquarium's awesome to help us out too.
So just between you and me, were you two like Satan in a past life, and you're trying to like karmically make up for it?
I don't
Is
know
that the
about
goal here?
that
Like,
level. Maybe him, not necessarily me.
Give away the tickets.
We've already talked about it. If you want to make a comment right now in any one of our Facebook pages, that's Gephardt Daily, Gephardt Approved, or the Todd and Erin. And once again, if you do want more information, you can go to the Mascot Miracles Foundation website, or you can also just go online to the Gephardt Daily Todd and Erin page, and I'll have all your information there as well.
There's an autographed picture from Felix, and we want your family at the concert if you guys would like to attend.
I know.
You're more
that's
than
really
welcome.
sad. We would love to. Thank you. I know it's that hot.
It's going to be a great day. So
Thank you, guys. You're
thank you.
wonderful.
Thanks for having us. That's awesome.
And congratulations on Mascot of the Year.
He does his best.
And he's wonderful. All right, you guys, stay with us. Coming up in just a couple of minutes. Wow, we'll tell you about a guy who had a truck roll in his head and how his son saved his life. Yeah, we'll tell you about it next. Todd and Erin's Morning Stream, brought to you by Black Diamond Experts. Electric, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. You'll be glad you called an expert. Fink and McGregor, mortgages made simple. Make sure you go to fink-mcgregor.com and try out their 4-minute mortgage program. It's incredibly easy to find out whether you qualify. The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is actually available anytime at GephardtDaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Erin page.
All right, welcome back to the Todd and Erin Morning Stream at GephardtDaily.com. How are you?
Okay, I think we're doing Fink and McGregor next. And if you've never seen this, the guy who actually owns Fink and McGregor is named neither Fink nor McGregor. It's Jeff Stout. But we had sort of a surreal moment with him the other day at Sugar House Park, and I just wanted to share it if we could. Okay, I'm supposed to keep talking, so I guess we're standing by. Fink, if you just go to fink-mcgregor.com, you can get all the information there. Basically, he put together like a 4-minute thing that if you answer it, it will spit out this big list of potential options for you for mortgages. I mean, it's ridiculously simple.
Let me answer this. You basically go on, and like you said, it's a 4-minute test, and basically it's going to say da-da-da, she make, ba-da-bum, bum, bum, and then what's your credit score? And you can buy a house with a 600 credit score?
Wow, that means you and I could actually buy a house.
Not yet. Someday, aim for.
Soon.
But they can help you out. And you know what? From start to finish, he's going to say, I need this from you. If you provide that for him, then he will do the rest of the process. And in 1 month, you can finance a house.
Oh, and by the way, it's without thousands upon thousands of dollars of closing fees, the way you might see with a bank, too, which is always a nice
All right.
surprise.
Tell me something good,
Okay,
Todd.
let's do this. Okay.
House with a 600 credit score.
Really?
We have lenders, we have programs, stuff that's come up in the last couple of years. 600.
Wouldn't you have to have like 50% down or something, though?
Nope. 3.5%.
Where would you start the process on this?
Well, Fink and McGregor has a website, 4minutemortgage.com. Just go there, fill it out, up and running.
How long until you get back to us?
1 business day. Whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
Where do you get the down, though, if you're broke?
It can be a gift from family, relative, significant other, even your work.
Gift, huh?
Yeah.
You know what that makes me wish?
What?
Makes me wish I had friends with money.
Welcome back, everyone. Todd and Erin Morning Stream at GephardtDaily.com.
By the way, if you're watching on Facebook right now, for some reason the stream froze, but you can watch us right now live on the YouTube channel if you'd like to for Gephardt Daily, or you can go to GephardtDaily.com to the Todd and Erin page, and we're still streaming live there as well.
Thanks, Obama. So anyway, tell me something good now.
This seems like something that would happen with my father.
All right, so this is something, they always start off horrible. And guy he had 3 of his teens with him.
Yeah,
on
Bob
a
Stone.
boat ramp, right?
14-year-old son, and he's on a boat ramp. He's in Mississippi, and they were backing their truck and their boat down the ramp when the car's gear suddenly slid into park. So everything stops.
It's like a linkage issue.
So Dad goes, yeah, this is a common occurrence with the SUV, so I can fix this by manually shifting the gear from underneath the car.
Go underneath the car.
Now, I'd like to point out that this is exactly what my father did on a boat ramp when all of us were behind this gigantic school bus that we had at the time that
On
we were...
a boat ramp.
Yeah. So this is why I know exactly what happened here. He crawled under the vehicle and started fiddling with the transmission. As the car slid into neutral, he realized he had forgotten to put on the emergency brake.
And he's underneath the car.
So the car is rolling back and then rolled 3 inches onto the side of his head, pinning him to the concrete. Unable to move, he came in and out of consciousness.
Oh!
Now, his 14-year-old son had the
Right.
presence of mind to spend the next 45 minutes pushing the car off his head until he was able to regain consciousness and pull him free. Called 911, he was rushed to the hospital.
Oh my God.
Now, here's the random thing.
Oh,
okay?
45 seconds. Oh,
Oh,
that's so
45
much.
seconds,
That's
Doc.
so much better.
Than 45 minutes. Yeah, sorry about that. That really would have
Like,
been a lot.
We got it, Dad. No, we don't. We got it, Dad. No, we don't. For 45 minutes.
45 seconds, thank you. That's better.
That's a lot.
Here's the intense thing, though. The doctors conducted x-rays and a CAT scan to ensure that, wow, what's happened here? How bad is this going to be?
Right.
Despite having a car on his head,
On your head.
he only suffered minor bruising. No damage to the skull or brain. No damage to the face.
Look at
That's a miracle. And he said, I was a little bloody on that side. God
still
bless him.
good looking dude.
And he says, I owe my life to my kid. He says he's 14 years old, and instead of freaking out and losing it and running around screaming, he pushed a car with superhuman strength
On a hill.
with a boat attached
A boat attached.
off my head.
Yeah. The only
Pretty
bad
cool
part,
kid.
it says Goodyear right there. And it will forever. All right, Goodrich. Feel better now? Michelin. How about Michelin? Never mind.
How could you taint a beautiful ending like this?
You have to have a sense of humor if a car rolls on your head. That's the way it works. Daisy's coming up.
Casey's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. And of course, she is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Mortgage is made simple. You can go to Fink-McGregor for more information. And if you would like it, they will call you back within 1 business day. Also by Black Diamond Experts. Those are experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. You'll be glad you called an expert at blackdiamondexpert.com. Daisy, what's going on, my dear?
Hello again, everyone. Here's a look at national and world news for Monday, September 11th on GephartDaily.com. Millions in Florida are starting to assess the damage done by Hurricane Irma, which has now been downgraded to a tropical storm. The monster storm slammed into the Florida Keys overnight Sunday before making its way up the state's western coast, where it has knocked out power to more than 6 million people. Tidal surges have been less severe than anticipated, but the storm is far from over, and experts say it could pick up steam if it meanders back over the ocean. North Korea is warning Uncle Sam it will, quote, inflict great pain and suffering on the US if it calls for new sanctions in response to Pyongyang's nuclear arms testing. In a statement carried by the country's official news agency Monday, North Korea warned if the US did push for harsher sanctions, their military would make absolutely sure America pays a heavy price. The new threat comes just 2 days after Kim Jong-un threw a lavish party for leaders of North Korea's nuclear arms program. And it seems hard to believe, but Americans across the country are marking the 16th anniversary of the 9/11 terror attacks. Thousands of victims, relatives, survivors, and first responders gathered at the World Trade Center Monday to remember the Al-Qaeda-inspired attack. Nearly 3,000 people died when hijacked planes not only slammed into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, but also the Pentagon, as well as a farmer's field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. That's it for now. For more headlines from across the country and around the world, go to GephartDaily.com. And for now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, my dear Daisy.
This is incredible. We've got an incredible study coming up at the University of Utah. You're going to talk about something
We'll tell you
first?
about that in a minute. Black Diamond Experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. The nice thing about this is pretty much anything that can go wrong in your house, they can fix, unless you drove a car through the drywall, and that's going to be another problem. But everything else pretty much they can fix. And so when you call them, they're going to send out somebody who is licensed, bonded, and insured. They'll wear booties. They come down, they take a look at the problem, they take care of everything in your house and treat it with respect, and then they give you a bid. and the bid will be exactly what you pay. No little extra special fees or late stuff or this or that. It's exactly what they said it would be, which is really nice and actually somewhat refreshing. Also, if you have emergencies, they have 24-hour service, because tragically, when something horrible happens, it's never at a convenient, like, work, 9 to 5 kind of work hours thing. It's always sometime in the middle of the night. So that's why they're there. Just go to blackdiamondexpert.com. You will be glad you called an expert. Now, this is Suicide
Utah.
Prevention Awareness Month.
Yeah.
And this is a big deal.
And the University of Utah has been getting a lot of acclaim for a lot of different projects they've been doing up there, your alma mater. And they just received a grant, and I thought this was really interesting because you think of the whole suicide problem and how many ways there are to attack mental illness and how to control things, and when people are in jeopardy, and when the hotlines are set up and the doctors and giving notifications and information to family members to keep an eye on someone, what they're looking for, what kind of things are going on. This is a new one that I haven't heard of before, and the University of Utah received this. It's from Janssen Research and Development. It's a Belgium-based pharmaceutical company, and that what they're looking at is the coalition, or the fact of genetics being involved in suicide or suicide attempts.
Interesting. Well, it makes sense, though, if you think about it, because depression runs in families. That can be a genetic contributor. So
Right.
That makes sense.
So basically what they're going to be doing is the University of Utah has a huge database. I mean, gigantic. And plus what they want to do is they want to take DNA samples from people who died by suicide. They want to get permission to do this. ALS, or concussions from football, a lot of those players donated their brains so the doctors could do study on it because they knew something was wrong. But this is really interesting, though. So they're going to get DNA from the people who have passed away from suicide, and they're going to see if there is a correlation between this. Now, it's $350,000 over 2 years, but they're hoping this continues. And if you've ever been involved in research,
Yeah, grant money is very competitive.
super competitive, but the university feels really good about this, and one of the reasons they got it is because their database. Now, if you're in the University of Utah database, feel comfortable with the fact that there will be no names associated with this.
Okay, this is the thing, though, that I think that has a special awareness here in the West. Can you show that map, Brennan? It's because we have a gigantic collective issue with suicide here, and the rates have been skyrocketing, which is another terrifying thing. But for some reason, this area in particular is extremely high in suicide rates. And so one of the reasons that they chose the University of Utah is because we are centrally located to where this problem is. Do we have that graphic, Brandon? Can you show it?
Of the map.
Yeah.
So one of the issues is opioids, and they're thinking that effect is affecting suicide rate.
Which is another thing that we have a huge abuse rate for.
And then there's the veterans, which is the numbers are just sad. They're so high.
There's not enough care.
So-
We know that now. And anyway, I think the important thing is, number one, there is awareness and the fact that this is so serious. Number two, it gives us a chance to educate ourselves. And number three, there's more hope now, because if we can get access to this money continuously for a long time and really do this research with genetics, we may be able to pinpoint and prevent. I mean, imagine how many deaths. Imagine
Right.
how much loss.
So
That would be incredible.
good for you, University of Utah, and best of luck on that. Hey, coming up,
This is the weirdest one ever. Imagine pondering on Twitter whether or not a celebrity would like you and having them answer you back. John Mayer blows his own mind. We'll tell you next week.
next.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com?
All right, so who's freaking out about who on Twitter?
All right, John Mayer is notorious for like dating celebrities. I mean, he's always trying to score with, and he's Jessica Simpson, and he dated Katy Perry and a whole bunch of like female singers.
John Mayer, right.
It's his thing. And you haven't heard much from him recently, and
I haven't
apparently
heard much.
he might be wanting to kind of ooze back into the spotlight because he keeps posting things on Twitter like, I spend an inordinate amount of time per day wondering if Nicki Minaj would like me or not. So a couple minutes later, Nicki Minaj herself answers, would my body be your wonderland? And then he replies back, please hold, losing my stuff. This isn't my reply yet. So if by now, of course, obviously everybody is going to weigh in on this, and they're all like going, okay. As a matter of fact, one guy goes, this only happens once in your life, John. Don't screw this up. Don't screw this up. And somebody else goes, he already did. It's too late. Don't worry about it. But then Nicki Minaj comes back. She goes, oh, I'm just asking for a friend. And he's like, wait, no, wait.
I'm asking for
So
a friend.
this should be fun to see how this turns out. But it was hysterical to actually like watch this real life trauma happen, unfold. It's like in high school, when you'd watch your friends get shot down.
Yeah.
And it was like almost compelling because in its awfulness. You kind of had to keep
horrible.
watching, like, what's going to happen now? It's like that.
Jimmy Fallon. Did you ever see this? Jimmy Fallon, you can go online. And Jimmy Fallon is doing a show. He's got his ties behind the desk. Nicole Kidman is sitting next to him in the chair.
Who's just unseemly beautiful.
And
She's
so-
unimaginably
So
attractive
he's
woman.
talking and like this, and she goes, well, that's why you wouldn't go out with me. And Jimmy Fallon was like, what? She goes, no, remember? Your other friend brought me along, and we stopped at your apartment. And Jimmy Fallon's like jaws dropping. He's like, yeah? And she said, you remember when we were talking and chatting, but you wouldn't take your eyes off the video game that you were playing? And he was just playing this. And he goes,
man.
what are you saying? And she goes, well, I thought I'd want to go on a date with you. Jimmy Fallon's jaw drops to the table.
He lost opportunities.
He goes, but where, when, what? Hey, what? How'd this happen? And she was just like, well, no, you just weren't interested, so I moved on. And Jimmy Fallon was just like, holy crap. I could have dated Nicole Kidman. That would have been awesome.
Once again, watching true life tragedy unfold, there's nothing more entertaining.
All
At
right,
least
so
if it's not me.
You want
So,
this guy
seriously.
to be your bus driver. Sorry for the yawn. So anyway, it happened on Route 28 about 3:15 p.m. 3:15 p.m. is when Steve Peterson gets in his bus and he drives all his kids home.
Elementary and junior high school kids.
Put him on. This is Juab County. And he's driving down the road. And you know what? You got to think that there's a certain awareness level that you have when you hear all these noisy brats behind you, but you still love them. And you're going to drive as safe as you can. Well, coming down the other way on a very two-lane road.
This very same thing almost happened to us and almost took you out.
Yeah.
Except for your quick reflexes.
Yeah, well, this guy, Yukon, pulling a trailer, was coming back and him coming at him his way. And lost some mobility here. Tire probably went off the road, started swerving wildly. And the bus driver made a reaction. Then he didn't overreact, so he pulls it back and he holds it. And the Yukon is all over the road at this point. And so he avoids the Yukon. The trailer slides out in front of him. And it takes a huge amount of courage to drive through something as opposed to overreact and take off
Flipping the bus,
and
which
tumbling
doesn't
it
have
down.
seat
And so
belts.
it's like basically when you're driving down the road and unfortunately a deer jumps in front of you. Highway patrol, there is one thing to do, and that is to hold your course and hit the deer.
Well, here's the thing.
Because so many people get injured or hurt trying to avoid. So anyway, here he sees broadside, a trailer in front of him. He's the bus driver. Kids are behind him. He takes the shot head on. The trailer, a lot of it comes through the windshield.
Injures him severely.
Injures him. This is what was left of it.
Look at that. I mean, seriously.
And so
But
basically...
he holds his freaking course.
Right.
He holds it. Seriously.
He holds his course. The ambulance comes. All the kids are safe. Couple scratches here or there. And
he was the only one who was injured.
He went to the hospital. There's the windshield. He goes to the hospital, and they're doing face reconstruction on him because he caught a lot of stuff.
Can you believe that, though? But he held the course the whole time.
He took it. And if you notice, it's a flat front bus. It's not the kind with big engine out in front.
Oh,
That would
man.
help you. And he didn't veer. That's your bus driver.
That's the bus driver you want to have for
That's
your kids.
the one you want to have for
So,
your
sir,
kids.
thank you very much. That was incredible.
Now,
So,
I'm not sure if you've prepared this just for me,
I think this is for all of us to
but
be
this is
educated
this is
and
something
enlightened.
that I need to know about. Is say what?
Well, no, it's on Twitter because they actually have something every week now because they scroll through and there's so much education on Twitter that you would not think about.
Like what?
All these different things like NASA and all these cool organizations, and they're all explaining
Do you
stuff.
follow people like that?
Of course I do.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's interesting because like hurricanes, for instance, they've been talking a lot about these this week.
Right.
Hurricanes are the most powerful storms on Earth. They feed on warm waters at the ocean's surface.
Yeah, I knew that. I was bombarded with hurricane
thought it was
information
cool.
for the last 2 weeks.
Did you know that bacteria uses brain-like bursts of electricity to communicate
No,
with other bacteria?
I did not know that.
It does. How about this? Human antidepressants are building up in the brains of fish in the Niagara River because everyone keeps flushing them.
That actually happens in Utah Lake.
So I guess we've got a lot of laid-back fish.
That's why they're so easy to catch.
It's like, whatever.
I'll just jump in the boat.
This one's freaking amazing. This is a 3D printed mask that can respond to your facial expressions with flowing liquid.
No.
Like if you smile, it'll bubble and ooze and do other different things.
No.
And if you're frowning, like certain things will pop out and burst.
No, looks like the person from Night at the Opera.
Wasn't that amazing, though?
Phantom of the Opera.
Phantom of the Opera.
Phantom.
But wasn't it cool?
That's weird.
3D mask. It interacts with your facial expressions. I thought that was cool. All right. So anyway, that's your 4 things that now make you more
So
intelligent.
that'll make
sounding.
me popular at parties. Mm-hmm. Nice.
All right, we were talking about Alex Boyer earlier, and if you missed this part of the broadcast, because we did lose some of our stream on Facebook Live, we had Felix the Falcon come in from the Mascot Miracles, who's an amazing group that works with kids.
He's the cool one. He's the cool mascot.
Yeah, serious health conditions and medical needs. They're doing a big fundraising concert with Alex Boyer, and this is probably the last time you'll ever see this artist for only $15. And then, of course, the money goes to help the kids.
Right.
And we've got 5 family 4-packs. All you need to do is come on any one of our Facebook pages that you would like to win the tickets, and we'll be giving those away by noon. But this being 9/11,
Yeah. So
16 years now.
we've been talking about this 9/11. And the hurricane kind of, got everybody off track a little bit and stuff. And although it's very important, but 9/11, 16 years, 16 years ago.
Do you remember what we were doing?
Everyone does.
We were up at your family's cottage up in Maine.
I know the chair I was sitting in.
And there had been a huge group of kids because everybody summers up in Maine and that lives in New York, and the kids all came up for the weekend, holiday weekend, then went back to work in New York
City. The
City.
kids are adults,
Yeah, but I remember all through the camps, everyone was ringing bells if they'd found out their kids were okay, if they'd managed to hear from it, and everyone was just waiting, going, "Have you heard from your daughter yet? Do you know if your son's okay?" And Molly, who's our next door neighbor's daughter, who we love dearly, it was her first day on her job in the public defender's office. And they're all walking down the bridge, and she has no idea where to go because she can't get back to her apartment.
Right.
And one of the attorneys said, "Why don't you come home with me and you can stay with me for a couple of days?" And so she stayed with their family. But
Nice. It was so weird. The weird thing is that I was up early because of the kids, and you were sleeping. And when you came out, I didn't know how to tell you because it was so tragic. It was just like
So
wow.
overwhelming.
But 16 years ago, and so we are going to leave.
Well, so we're leaving with Alex Boyer. He did a brand new song called "Celebrate." It was just released a couple of days ago, and we thought it was a beautiful way to kind of honor the day.
We'll see you tomorrow on the Todd and Erin morning stream at getparkdaily.com.